Here's the way they're lined up now. Gil DeFerrin is the leader of the race, and Jim Hall's already said he's going to do everything he can to run to the end, but it might be marginal. There is second place, Alex Zanardi. They're running for the end of the race. Greg Moore sits in third place. Al Unser Jr. is fourth, and Brian Herta, who just came in for a splash of fuel, is now in fifth place. Michael Andretti is out of the race, as is Andre Ribeiro. Let's go to Jackaroo.
And for Michael, all for nothing. You were running so well. What put you out?
I don't know, something in the drivetrain went. It's a real shame because we were running well. Considering where we started, the way we battled ourselves back, and then to go this far, all this work for nothing. But shame.
Tough break for Michael Andretti, but there's still a hell of a battle out on the racetrack, guys.
Boy, there is. And who's going to run out of fuel and who can make it?
Well, that's a big question, but the big thing right now, I would imagine if they're stretching it, they've got to turn it down and conserve fuel a little bit for Gil DeFerrin. But the other thing was that Alex Zanardi stopped for a splash of fuel. He's going to turn it up and run it as hard as he can and try to close that gap. And that gap is getting narrower by the lap.
Well, try this out. There are 5 laps to go. In the last lap, Zanardi nicked a second off of his time. Just crossed the line, 1.56 seconds behind. He is definitely ready to challenge DeFerrin at this lap, certainly the beginning of the next lap. 86 are now complete. 4 to go.
There is first and second right there on your screen. The yellow car on the left and the red one right there. That is close.
Greg Moore is third, but he's 15 seconds back from this battle. Another 10 seconds back from that is Al Unser Jr. This is the fight that matters. Boy, what's going through DeFerrin's mind? Repeat of last year where he almost had it, but almost wasn't good enough. Enough fuel to make it to the end.
Well, this is really a tactical race right now. These guys are driving as hard as they can, but it depends on where they have that fuel mixture set.
So, Jack, what are they thinking down in the pits for DeFerrin?
Well, let's ask the Texan himself. Jim, how close is it going to be?
It's close. We figured we could make it, and it's as close as you want to have it, I'll tell you. We're stretching it, so I don't know. Jill could just have to see if he can hold him. I think he can.
What about the fuel mix? What have you told Jill?
He's as lean as he can go.
Can't get much leaner than that.
Well, with 3 to go, less than 3 now, Jim Hall, the team owner for Gil DeFerrin, an engineer. Of course, he's put together some incredible racing efforts in his day and holds a lot of hope in this young driver. But Zanardi seems to be in the right position. He can run full rich, which means full power, while DeFerrin simply is in a defensive posture. Let's go to Jack.
And that is exactly what Chip Ganassi's crew is telling Alex Zanardi on the radio. They keep telling him, wide open, full boost. You can catch him, you can catch him. It almost sounds like they're driving each and every lap here. Wouldn't be surprising. Remember, Chip Ganassi had his best career finish as a driver here at Cleveland.
Jack, just to correct one thing, they've both got their boost up. It's the fuel mixture.
Fuel mixture.
Exactly.
Fuel mixture is wide open on Zanardi. He's okay.
That means it's 100%. And what happens with 100%? More fuel is more power.
You got to take a look at this. Here is Zanardi as he tries to make the move, and can he hold on to it? They're side by side through the corners. DeFerrin doing everything he can to defend.
Oh, that was set up by the back slower car, and he got out in those marbles. Oh, that was a great move.
So the position remains the same as Gil DeFerrin, heading for the white flag, is trying to hold Well, the gamble played off for Jim Hall Racing as Jill DeFerrin has taken the victory here. Back at the start of the race. Now, remember that this is onboard DeFerrin as they come toward the start. You saw a big puff of white smoke, and here was the cause of that whole thing. DeFerrin came right down and tagged the car just ahead of him and has pretty severe damage on the nose. Well, now let's go find out all about the race. Here's Jack Arute.
Well, Jill DeFerrin finally taking his helmet and balaclava off. And Jill, the heat has taken its toll. But first of all, tell us about the contact early in the race.
I lost total reference point going into the first turn. And I ended up hitting Andre in the back and locked up all my tires. And there was a lot of vibration. I was able to hold my own there.
This victory, does it vindicate the problems from last year? You really felt this track owed you one.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I like this track very much, and I mean, it's just nice to come here and win the race on my second try.
You can tell this is exhaustion, but it's happy exhaustion, Gary Gerald.
Well, here's more satisfaction, Jack. He's a rookie, but he doesn't drive like one of this IndyCars. Alex Zanardi, I know you may be a bit disappointed because you gave it everything you could muster and came so close to catching DeFerrin. Tell us what those last few laps were like for you.
Well, Gilles, right at the end, I think he had some fuel problems. I mean, fuel consumption. He was running out of fuel, so he had to slow down. But my car was very good today. I just had too much push, which was was a bad situation behind traffic, you know, because behind traffic you lose fresh air, and so my performance was dropping down dramatically. I did at least 15 laps behind Bobby Rallas yesterday, so I have to thank him again because I could have started in pole yesterday. Today I could have won the race, but this is racing, and it's good. I'm very happy because I feel like I did a good race anyway.
He loved Portland a week ago. I think he's fallen in love with Cleveland. Nice job.
And he was so gracious at Portland last week, handing a rose to every one of the ladies by his trailer. We've got more interviews. We'll be right back. Just off the edge of the racetrack, which will now very quickly become an airport here, Greg Moore had a really nice day, finishing in third, Jack.
Greg, you said the heat really affected things. Bad set of tires and then the heat.
First set of tires wasn't quite as good as the last two, and you know, I made a couple mistakes on those tires. I got outside in the marbles, let a lot of guys by, and you know, maybe if I hadn't done that, I would have been able to run with, you know, Gilles and Alex at the end there. But you know, I think the job that the guys did all weekend. I mean, this is my crew that did this race. I mean, we split the car from the motor from the tub 3 times, and they did a great job.
Once in a while, you got to have one that the crew brings home for a podium finish, Paul.
So there's third place, Greg Moore. Here are the unofficial results, with Jill DeFerrin taking the second win of his career, his first, of course, of this season, followed by Zanardi. Greg Moore. Al Unser Jr. gave that car a great ride to get up into fourth place. As we'll go down through the entire order now, Scott Pruitt. I think the real key here is Jimmy Vasser. You know, he got a couple of points, but it's really not going to help him all that much. He needed points here in the middle of the season. And the rest of the unofficial results here at the Burke Lakefront Airport, where already the cranes are out on the track and beginning to pick up barriers so they can turn it back into an airport, and the first aircraft will take off very, very shortly. Now, let's go back down pit side and Gary Gerald.
Al Unser Jr. talking with Grant Newberry as engineer. A quick word, Junior, have you ever driven harder to get a fourth place finish in your career?
Well, we drove pretty hard today. You know, the car ran really well. We changed the car from this morning to the race, and we helped it quite a lot. And so I was able to get in the corner a lot better and so on. And so.
And that short fill on that pit stop helped you a bunch, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. But, you know, the strategy kind of, we tried really hard to come in under that yellow and make up some time, but it wasn't there. And so, you know, we just tried really hard. I want to congratulate Jill. He did a great job, and say hello to my 2 little girls at home.
Thanks, Junior.
Thank you.
From 16th to 4th place, he did what Richard Buck said. He drove the wheels off of that car to get up there. But Jill DeFerrin is the winner here in Cleveland. We'll be back with more.
And we've really struggled. This is our best result of the season. We've been qualifying up towards the front, and
I feel like this was a good step for us. It was the next thing we needed to do in our development was to finish some races, score some points, and we're doing that. If we can keep running like this, we can put together a strong second half of the year here.
And you know the old thing that he's got with Paul Tracy right here, the goatee? Whoever wins first, Tracy or Herta, they get to shave. And Brian said, I can't wait.
Oh, Brian Herta, there's they're ready to spray some of the sparkly here. The United States continues to lead over Brazil in the Nations Cup points, followed by Canada and Italy. And in the Manufacturers' Championship, which has been hard fought this year, Honda back on top with 166 points over Ford, Mercedes, and Toyota. And Danny Sullivan, your star of the race.
Well, I've got to go with Jim Hall and all the Pennzoil team. They made a great call, a good gamble, and I think everybody drove well. Brian Herta, Greg Moore, Unser, they all had good races, but I still got to go with the team. I think that's where the victory came from.
Well, that was Herta's best finish of the season and Fangio's best finish. And what about Adrian Fernandez, who finished sixth, Gary?
A cold towel at the back of the neck, an umbrella to shade him from the heat. How tough were the conditions today to get you a sixth-place finish?
It's very tough, very unfair for the result because, I mean, things happen, bad pit stop, but, we were gambling, and the team did a great job. I drove very hard, and it was very tough physically, and sixth place is a disappointed, but not disappointing for the effort that the team put.
Oh.
Well, I think we have seen one of the most tactical races I've seen a long time in the IndyCars, Danny.
Well, I agree with you. This thing was won in the pits. There were some gambles that went on. Everybody seemed to drive well. It was a pretty clean race all the way through. A lot of hard driving, but these guys, I think it was won in the pits. The crews made a big effort today.
And the circuit here at the Burke Lakefront Airport always seems to produce most unusual, if not great races. Coming up next, more racing. The International Race of Champions. There's some very cool stuff. In fact, they set a record in this one, so don't miss that one. Over on the podium, they're getting ready to celebrate here.